We are back to have a fun on the Elevated Marketing podcast, right?
Yes, we are
It's
back.
not. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about AI tools. I know we're not the only one talking about AI tools. There's lots of them out there. We'll get into that. But first of all, Brenna, I want you to imagine that you've discovered this beautiful island. It's
Hmm,
remote and you can build your own society because AI is coming, right? And so you want this beautiful island.
okay.
You even get to make the rules of this island. Like it's Brenna's island. What is the first rule that you're going to put into place?
Leave all BS at the boat. This is a
I
relaxing island.
yeah. Mine's similar in that I want, there to be this like, before you have anything confrontational to say, I want you to take 24 hours to think about it and then come back and then decide if it's still a good idea to say that because we're going to be kind no matter what.
I love that. And while you're at it, like have different conversations in your head about how this conversation might go.
Yeah. Oh, well, they may say this, so I should probably say this. And oh, did I just react with anger right off the bat? Maybe it was
Mhm.
really this, like, give people the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that's going to be our private island. I said, Ari, you're coming with
Okay, that's fine.
me. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what AI marketing tools we're using. And I think it's important to put a little context to this, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I do. There are a lot out there, so yeah.
Yeah. I think you have to, there's so many of them, and there's so many people with their motives of trying to ride this wave of AI. And I'm going to put out a new tool. I'm going to slap AI in front of it, and I'm going to tell you it's a game changer. And I'm going to write really good copy and really good marketing. And not everything is what it seems.
No.
No. You have to try the tools. You have to see, is it actually saving me time with existing items that I'm already doing? Is there a use case study? Oh, I do this, so it's saving me time with that instead of maybe adding additional elements that you might now have to do that you weren't already doing.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's easy to kind of have tunnel vision when it comes to AI and all of these new tools that are surfacing because they are new and they're so glamorized and everybody's using it. Try this, try that. And so I think I mean, you said it perfectly. Like, is it within the realm of why you need to use a tool such as this, you know?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm, and not, flashy and shiny, and
yeah.
then a lot of these tools are, uh, being built into softwares that you're already using, so it's not necessary to go buy something new, in order to, use what's in there. It probably is in your existing tools.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I know we'll get to this, like ChatGPT almost has like different plugins and apps that you can integrate. And so I would be surprised if a lot of these AI tools don't have something similar.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely setting aside some time though on a weekly basis. So we do a show and tell during our meetings of AI tools, and we can all kind of talk together and see, oh yeah, that is cool. I could see how I could use it for this or use it for that. And see if it makes sense and start understanding the terms that people are using.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely helps coming together as a team to kind of put our heads together, and even if there's one way that one teammate is using it, there could be other ways that the rest of the team could benefit from, and so it's nice coming together to kind of,
Yeah.
rehash, how this is beneficial.
Because at the foremost, we have a team of strategists, and so for
Mhm.
us, we need to think about how we use these, and then it can be used by multiple people now because a lot of these tools are allowing people who didn't necessarily weren't a designer before, but like, oh well, if I take a little bit of the designer mindset, now I can be a designer because it's opening up those doors.
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, let's go through our favorite tools right now that will probably change next week, but or even by the time this comes out. What is
Yes.
your top favorite tool? I think we have to say Chat GPT. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I love ChatGPT. I love, you know, different prompts putting into there. But I will say one of my top right now, and it's AI, but it's more geared to scoring AI results. So it's called Content at Scale. And, I work with a lot of content. So, I like to kind of put in different pieces of content into this. It basically grades the content. And so it revises it for me, without doing the work. I still have to do the work, but it'll give me a grade point on how readable it is for the average person, how scannable is it, gives me any suggestions on maybe a messaging change. Obviously, grammar, it'll go through and revise that. But I've really been using that a lot. And, it's really helpful when it comes to content and making sure we're providing the best quality content that we can.
And not over reliant on any of that. We got to use our
Yeah.
own brains on does this content make sense?
Yes.
Um, you know, Chat GPT, there is a plugin add-on. I don't think it's called a plugin, but it's an extension of
Mhm.
app1.aiprm.com. And it gives like all these pre-made like prompts that you can use for all different types of things. Of course, we're all over the marketing ones and we're seeing what the prompts are and we're adjusting them to, oh, well, they didn't think about this or
Mhm.
that. And I think that is super helpful as well.
It is. There are so many prompts, even outside of marketing. And like, it can be a little overwhelming at first scanning through, but I found that if you look at the ratings that these prompts have, it'll kind of help mesh out, maybe the more popular or better quality prompts. It is really useful though.
Well, and ChatGPT is learning on itself in
Mhm.
that with Dolly 3 that is inside there. So that's like the image generator is now coming back and correcting you if you didn't ask for the right type of information. It will ask you for it afterwards. So that's certainly a game changer as well.
Yeah, well, and along with Dolly, it's also text to image, correct?
Yeah.
Which,
So, and then Dolly 3 is now also inside of Canva. So you
mhm.
don't need to necessarily go to ChatGPT, and that's great because there's so many additional things that you can do inside of Canva. Once you have that and you'd be like, hey, I don't want this to be there's a spoon in there. I want it to be a fork now. Can you do that? And it can do that. Um, it's great.
Yeah, Canva has really kind of expanded and stepped up their AI game. I would compare it very similar to Adobe Photoshop with the capabilities inside of there,
Yep.
especially when it comes to images.
Yeah.
It Yeah, they've really stepped it up.
And see, I've never been a big Adobe fan because it was so overly complicated, and so I haven't really
Mhm.
gotten into Adobe, but I've definitely heard how much Adobe has been updating, and so I'll be curious to see if, what's gonna be difference between Canva and Adobe now, if Adobe is kind of jumping in and making their tools a lot less complicated.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know that too. I've worked with Adobe quite a bit,
Might be
more
too late for
Canva these days.
'em.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, with Adobe, they've kind of had these features already, they just weren't necessarily AI, but now that AI is involved, they have improved a lot of those capabilities,
Mhm.
um, but I would say Canva is definitely more user friendly.
Yeah. My next one is Clap, Klapp, and I'm loving it because we do a lot of video content, and it can take longer form video content and make it into short videos, and I can do it from beginning to end in about 7 minutes. So that's really quick in order to make these short form videos, and it automatically makes transition from two different people. It automatically goes to the video and finds that inside there. I'm also really loving GoPro's AI where it will go in and automatically make videos. So I could be running GoPro for an entire hour and it will come back and be like, "Oh, this is what you want out of that." And that's great.
Yeah, that's a huge time saver.
Yep. Yep. What other ones do you got?
Yeah, Unlayer. So this is more specific to email marketing.
Uh-huh.
Essentially, it acts as like a drag and drop builder tool for email marketing. However, AI will go in and give you more suggestions on maybe how to build something, messaging again, graphic placement, call to actions, and then, once you're happy with what you've built alongside of AI and Unlayer, you can actually take that code and you can put that into your email marketing platform, and then it'll build that email for you inside of there. And so it's pretty intuitive, especially I would say, especially for beginners in email marketing. It's really something you might want to take a look at and play with, just because it kind of guides you along the way. And it'll help you get kind of the look and feel that you're specifically wanting to get versus maybe inside of an email marketing platform, it's not as customizable without
Uh-huh.
that code. And so this is basically already building that code for you, which again is a huge time saver. Code is very tedious.
Yes, for sure. Zoom and meetings, having Zoom automatically built into their AI is I've got it turned on when I have meetings. It's giving me a summary of everything that happened. And just like with any of these tools, at first it wasn't that great, but now I'm just like, oh, well, that's pretty good. I think if you don't go too much all over the place in a meeting, I have seen recently, it was a meeting today, and I was like, okay, that didn't quite grasp it, but I know we were like, shoom, shoom, shoom. Um, but I've seen several. It's like, oh wow, that makes things really easy to kind of keep everybody on the same page.
I think it's really smart for Zoom to provide that now. I know before we had tried some, third party plugins, and, and they weren't on
Yeah,
par per se, but
I like how they made it free
yeah.
with already, so taking care of the people that I've already supported. There was I don't want to mention names. I guess I want to call them out, but I'm not going to. But there was an offer for new people that come in, they would get this new AI if they would come back. And I'm like, okay, well, what about the loyal people that have been here for a while? So we've got to pay for it. But I just feel like
Mhm.
that's a big marketing fail to have your loyal customers have to pay for something that a new person's going to get in. It's the old like AT&T, Bell, like trick to get new cell phone providers in.
Yeah, when you should be grandfathered in, but
There you go. There you go. Descript, using that one. It's got some great tools to, if you are trying to give out a video and you maybe you're reading off of a script, you can do that now and it'll actually fix your eye movement so that it's on
Oh,
camera. I'm like, yeah, that could be. really helpful. I'm not using it right now. If I was, that would be good. Okay, I know we could talk a lot about tools, but those are just some of our favorites right now. Did we leave any off for you?
I don't believe so.
All right, well, let's put a pin in it there. Take care, everyone.